What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Chris Jericho's awesome act of kindness, an insane Brock Lesnar rumor and hoax that we have to shut down, why a big title switch at SummerSlam is going to be an instant fail, Rusev goes off on a fan, Liv Morgan wants the Raw dancers to come back, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into the first story. Chris Jericho and Scott D'Amore make an incredible donation to Kamala's family. Now, the wrestling world is still mourning the death of James Kamala Harris, and fans and wrestlers alike are working to help Mr. Harris's family out, with wrestlers Chris Jericho and Scott D'Amore setting a fantastic example. According to Ringside News, a GoFundMe account was set up to help out Kamala's family. So far, they have raised $22,337 of their $25,000 goal. Chris Jericho donated $5,000 to the fund and Scott D'Amore donated $2,500. An anonymous donation of $3,000 was also among some of the high-dollar donations in this drive. Jericho also donated $5,000 in April of 2019 to help Kamala's family save their home. Le Champion has also donated to many other charities and individuals throughout the years. Now, Kamala not only entertained millions of fans, he helped wrestlers who were just getting started. WWE Hall of Famer Mick Foley posted a message online talking about his early days in enhancement talent when he blew a spot against Kamala and feared what the big man would say backstage. Foley said Kamala, unlike other veterans who might scream or even get physical with wrestlers who made mistakes in the ring, was kind and forgiving. This led to what Foley calls an epiphany about his career. If I ever get to be a star and someone messes up, I'm just going to treat them the way Kamala just treated me, because I like the way this feels. It's almost word for word the thought I had after rooming with former WWF champion Ivan Koloff in 1990. If I ever get to be a top star, this is the way I'm going to treat people. And together, my 1986 experience with Kamala and my 1990 experience with Ivan Koloff are the two most positive examples of huge stars being kinder, gentler, and better to me than they needed to be. Simply because they were good men with big hearts who believed in the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Just another example of how one act of kindness can be passed on to many other people's lives. Next up, Liv Morgan defends Raw Underground dancers and then gets slammed for it. Current Raw superstar Liv Morgan is coming under fire after she defended WWE's decision to feature female dancers on the premiere of Raw Underground. As we reported yesterday, Alundra Blaze and Lance Storm, amongst many others, criticized Raw Underground's female dancers, saying their presence set the WWE Women's Revolution back. But Liv didn't see anything wrong with this and tweeted, "We've come so far in the evolution, and with no signs of slowing down, I don't think it is any danger. Showing beautiful women proudly dancing, believe it or not, huge money-making profession, doesn't hurt anything. Empower all women." Now, kudos to Liv for speaking her mind and giving a woman's perspective on things. If you watched Raw Underground this week, you know the dancers were not present, and they could have completely got rid of them. Next up is a major title change happening at SummerSlam. Now, although we've discussed the long-rumored WWE Championship switch at SummerSlam, a number of news sites are reporting it as big news, so we wanted to let you know the current rumor is that Randy Orton will defeat Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. The rumoured reason for the switch is that the WWE feels Drew hasn't had a chance to show whether he's over due to the lack of live audience, so the WWE wants to put the belt on a bigger star. There's also the rumour that WWE wants to set up Edge vs Orton for the championship when the Rated R superstar returns. Now, we think certain news sites are missing the big picture. The fact that Randy Orton, while Orton has been killing legends on Raw, he hasn't been killing it in the ratings. Raw's third hour numbers have been lower than ever, and these segments often feature one Randall Keith Orton. Granted, hour 3 is usually Raw's worst rated hour, but Orton has done nothing to boost the ratings, and it's doubtful him as WWE Champion will change anything. Next up, Rusev goes off on a fan. Now, former WWE superstar Rusev seems to have had enough of wrestling fans criticizing his wife Lana via social media, with this latest story showing just how ignorant some fans are and how fiercely Miro will defend his lovely Lana. Recently, a fan said that the WWE should have fired Lana rather than a husband, leading to Miro tweeting, "Hey, you know what? F you, dude. Wishing for somebody to be fired speaks volumes of a person. Fix your shitness now before you pass it down. Now the tweet has now been deleted, but this isn't the first time someone has blasted Lana, leading to Miro defending her. We wonder what might happen if a fan made these comments to Lana's face, or even better, with Rusev present. Next up, exposing the hoax about Brock Lesnar's son. Now there's big news going on in the wrestling world, not from official sites, but news concerning that Brock Lesnar's son Luke Lesnar is getting into wrestling. What's particularly incredible about this story is that the story dates back a year when it first reported as true, only to be later revealed as a hoax. An Instagram post claiming to be from Brock Lesnar's son Luke showed a ripped teenager who looked similar to Brock Lesnar. However, this account is fake, and this isn't Brock Lesnar's son. According to the site Pedestrian, various internet sleuths discovered that the ripped teen photo used by the account was actually lifted from the account of Bryce Winkleman, a former US college soccer player. It is not Luke Lesnar. So we can dispel any rumors that Luke Lesnar is joining the WWE. We think quite a number of people have been fooled by this hoax. Next up, Chyna is getting a tribute Intercontinental Championship belt. Belt collectors and fans of WWE Hall of Famer Chyna will be excited to learn that WWE is issuing a commemorative title belt to honor wrestling's 9th wonder of the world. According to a report at Sportskeeda, the $499 replica is a reproduction of the Attitude Era version of the Intercontinental title that the 9th wonder of the world once held. It includes a custom nameplate with 6 Swarovski crystals. The strap features studs in homage to Chyna's ring gear with her logo and nickname. The belt includes 5mm thick plates and weighs over 6 pounds. WWE.com mentioned the belt's release again, saying, "Of all the wonders in the world, perhaps none shine as brightly as Chyna." The new Chyna Signature Series Championship title, available at WWEshop.com, commemorates the trailblazing accomplishments and lasting legacy of this history-making WWE legend. Now, WWE have been issuing a number of high-priced belts due to their popularity amongst collectors, so expect to see more as the WWE hopes to make as much money as possible to compensate for its lack of ticket revenue during this pandemic. Next up, Arn Anderson talks John Cena burying the Nexus. Arn Anderson recently discussed one of John Cena's most controversial career moments, Cena's burial of the Nexus at SummerSlam, a move many fans think destroyed the group's momentum and any chance for it to get over. AA spoke about the match during his podcast, recalling how Cena's victory was a bad move on his part. You may recall the 2010 match was a 7v7 elimination match between Team WWE and Team Nexus, so everyone except Cena eliminated from Team WWE, leaving Cena to face Justin Gabriel and Wade Barrett. In Anderson's opinion, this was a bad move. All those that are anti-Cena, it's for situations just like that. If all those minds you're talking about are feeling the same way, that if John is going to win and survive, okay, but it should be by the skin of his teeth. Everybody can't be wrong. So I think that they were correct in that. I think it hurt John more than it helped him. Even if you did have John sneak one out, a quick 1, 2, 3, you could have that sink in for just a second and you could still have 3 of the Nexus guys there to go ahead and squash him. Now, even Cena has admitted in recent interviews that not putting the Nexus over was a bad decision on his part. Unfortunately, the move killed what could have been one of the WWE's hottest storylines in years. Next up, AEW is catching up on Raw's demographics. Fans who have been keeping up with the ratings for wrestling know that AEW Dynamite has been killing NXT in the 18 to 34 demographics, and now Dynamite's demo numbers are approaching those for Raw and SmackDown. During an appearance on the Wrestling Inc. Daily podcast, the Wrestling Observer's Dave Meltzer commented on the situation, saying, "I think it's a lot more concerning when you look at the 18 to 34 numbers being so close to Raw and SmackDown when Raw and SmackDown don't have wrestling competition and AEW does. I think that is most concerning because that's newer viewers and future viewers. The fact that 10 months in it's pretty darn close, and if you didn't have NXT, AEW would actually be winning those demos. I think that's a lot more concerning than beating NXT on Wednesday night." Now, the demo god Chris Jericho also made mention of this on Twitter, saying AEW Dynamite beat WWE Raw in the coveted overall 18 to 34 demo in all 3 hours this week, point 29 to point 22. Should WWE be worried about this though, since they've even made record profits this year? Let us know in the comments down below. And finally, was there a planned Cryme Tyme reunion in WWE? Last but not least, Shad Gaspard and JTG's tag team Cryme Tyme had a memorable run in WWE from 2008 to 2010 before Shad Gaspard's 2010 release. However, there were rumors for several years that the comedic tag team might return to WWE, and according to JTG, that almost happened. Speaking on Unscripted with Chris Featherstone, JTG remembered he and Shad attending 2018 Survivor Series. Last year after Survivor Series they were in LA. I went to Raw, and then the day after they did SmackDown. I watched Raw in the audience. On Tuesday, Shad and I were backstage. I don't think they had seen us in a few years. The head of talent saw us and they said, "You guys are amazing. You guys stayed in shape. You guys stayed active." Although JTG claims the WWE said that they would love to bring Cryme Tyme back, that never happened, and sadly, fans will never get to see a Cryme Tyme reunion. But there you have it guys, the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Facebook for exclusive lists, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.